Grand Rising, Elizabeth. Today is Friday, the 20th of September. September. Oh my goodness. We about to walk right on into well, it's the 20th. We're in the mid of the month. I am your host, Queen Aduni, and my co-host will be here in a minute, who is Mariah Tolbert. So, Grand Rising, everybody. I was just saying, I just purchased um, manifestation cards from Rhonda Byrne, who wrote The Secret. And on an interview, the guy was talking about how wonderful the cards were and how thought-provoking they are. And everybody has cards on the show, so I thought I would get me some. Let me see here. So I am going to, as they say, I'm going to pick one. And then let's see what is for us today. Well, this is a good one. It is count your blessings. Make it a daily habit to sit down and write out 10 blessings. If you never did anything else, this one practice would transform your life. And I agree. Grand Rising, Lolly.
Grand Rising.
All is well with you?
Yes, 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 yes.
Great, great, great. Now the video that you posted, did you want us to play that as a you did that last week, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Want to play that as a reminder or
Yeah, sure. I can play. I won't play the full video. I'll play the part where he explains a little bit more about the exercise that we did. Or plan to do. I did mine. But let's see. Hold on, let me pull that back up.
Let me give you some power.
Oh, here we go.
It was actually, did you just post it?
Earlier today, yeah.
It was when I saw it, I said, there's something that I'm supposed to do. So
yeah, that was, and you know what? I take accountability. That was me. I was like, I'm gonna put it in the chat, and then I forgot to put the actual link in the chat. And then today I'm like, that link was not there. So we'll do a reminder today. No worries. The video is short anyway, but I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing. I'm going to kind of skip to the part where he introduces this speaker that talks a little bit about the exercise and then what it is. So well, that's really only a minute in, so we're good.
Yeah, and also everybody, today is Passion and Purpose Day.
Oh yeah. Today is Passion and Purpose Friday. We know this. We know this. So I'm gonna share that playing. I'm also going to get back on live. Thank you for your patience. It's always awkward when you're sharing stuff and then you gotta find a tab and we're getting there though. We're getting there.
Right.
Okay. We are here. All right. So
this ideal end state exercise apparently aligns your actions with your true desire.
So it's called an end state exercise, y'all. It's called an END, end state exercise. All right. So let's get to going.
Might be the most balanced person I've ever met. And he says all of this is only possible because of his ideal end state exercise. This ideal end state exercise apparently aligns your actions with your true desires and allows you to design a life that you never need to escape.
I've gone through this exercise with dozens of people, like everybody from like college kids all the way up to literally like billionaire business people. And I call it the ideal end state exercise. And it's a very simple exercise, but it's incredibly powerful. Literally, you make a bulleted list of if you could have your ideal life, what would it look like? And you should be very specific around like what a day looks like who you're around, what you're doing, how you're feeling. Every time I've gone through this exercise with someone, it really highlights the inconsistencies between what they say they want and their actions. And often it's like pretty big inconsistencies, right? So the example that I like to use is, let's say you're a young person and you just bought a fancy car, right? You bought a Porsche 911 or something, but on your list, it doesn't say drive a fancy car. Well, that begs the question, are you being honest about what you really want, or are your actions not aligning with what you want? Because the truth is, if driving a fancy car isn't on your list, one, that's probably keeping you from doing the things you really want. It's a very easy trap to fall into because often what happens is we kind of go with the flow. Like we listen to what society says is not really what we want. We just sort of go along with it. It only takes like an hour, probably 100 people come back to me and say, wow, this was such a powerful exercise.
And I actually did the exercise in the car. I recorded it on Voicepal, which is the app that me and my business partner are building, where you essentially speak into the app and then it tones your stream of consciousness into a rough first draft. And so we're going to sort of do this exercise for me, and then I'm going to kind of talk through it. Would really recommend you to actually do this ideal end state exercise. So please do pause this video now if you would like to indulge this particular exercise, which I think is actually really helpful. So the ideal end state exercise. What is the sort of life that you would design if you could design whatever life you wanted? So this is the sort of stuff that I've written on my ideal end state, like bullet point list. Freedom to do whatever work I want with whomever I want and whenever I want. 4 kids, big family home, open door policy, friends and family always coming over, 2 to 3 guest rooms, private chef and housekeeper. Health is in amazing shape. I gym whenever I feel like it. I play sports every day with friends. I go on long walks, maybe do yoga. I have a deep, loving, intimate relationship with my future wife. We do relationships and couples retreats 1 to 2 times a year. I travel whenever I want, always flying business and first class. Question mark, private jet, lol. Although that's like a radically different level of wealth than I currently am, or I suspect will ever be. But there are very, very rich people I know who say that having a private jet is actually really nice because it gives you freedom of movement. It means you can visit friends and family at a moment's notice. And it's just super cool, but like, I suspect. That's why it's a question mark. And that's why I've got a lol there, because it's like, whatevs. I'd quite like to get a Porsche Taycan. That's my dream car at the moment. I'd like to write books every few years whenever I want to explore an interesting question. I have a writing buddy. I have a low barrier to publishing, and I'm not stressing out about marketing and performance of these books. I have an office and co-working space, which is walkable from home, with a team that I work with in real life, and a YouTube and podcast studio attached to the thing, and an event space where students of my courses and people that I know and stuff can hang out. We can do events and live events and things. My friends are visiting all the time. I organize an annual ski trip and surf trip and cruise maybe with friends and family where I organize and pay for everything. That would be nice if I had enough money to do that. I have regular music jam sessions with friends where we do singing and songwriting and producing songs. I continue filming videos, but only when I feel like it, like videos like this one, which is partly why I'm filming this video, because I'm like, oh, I feel like sharing this thing. Don't really care how this video is going to perform. I'm sharing it in the hope that some people will do this exercise and find it interesting. Continue filming videos, but only when I feel like it, and have a business holding company with a portfolio of small profitable businesses that's making 10 million plus profit a year. Oh yeah, I've also recently taken the 10% pledge for the business and for my personal life, which means that as a business we are donating 10% of our profits to effective charities every year, so that's a thing that's on the list. And with a view to doing more philanthropy type stuff over time as I get older. And also I'd really love to do live events. I'm highly inspired by the sort of setup that people like Tony Robbins have, and I just love the idea of kind of hosting like a productivity weekend seminar or doing like a one-man stage show, sort of like Jay Shetty's stage show meets Darren Brown, where I combine like my interest in magic and music and mentalism and mind reading with some like personal development-y stuff. That would be super cool to have a stage show like that and to develop it and build it and have a director for it and make it really sick and be able to tour around the world doing this sort of stage show. So this is the sort of stuff that I came up with when I came across the exercise and I did the exercise. Now I've done exercises like this in the past, but I've never just done a what does your ideal life look like, just straight up. Other exercises I found really helpful for this are what does your ideal Tuesday look like? And what does an ideal Sunday look like? But I just
All right, so that should give you a kind of a reminder about this. It's an in-state exercise. I am about to go live. 1, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're here. All right, so we are with Grand Rising Elizabeth, y'all. It is Friday, Passion and Purpose Friday, and we're talking about our ideal in-state exercise that we were doing, and I shared the video from last time. So right now we're doing a recap, and then we can talk more after. Okay, I'm here. All right, so we got it. We got the gist of the exercise.
Yep.
Cool. So I did mine. So I can give a real life example. What's up, y'all? I can give a real life example of this. So this is designing my life. Now, the thing about this, what I love is that we can use our own perspective, our own perception of life. We can design our life for the next 10 years if we want, or we can design our life for just the next year. But when we do this, it allows us to really see past our senses and kind of go into what we it is that we want for our lives. Now, before I share mine, the reason why I said past my senses is because we talk a lot about the five senses of like, I can see this, I can feel this, I can touch this, all of those things. And that's common. We learn them in what, first grade maybe. We learn them all real soon. But there's actually more than just those five senses. There's actually 6 external senses that we use, which is important when we're talking about designing our life. And so I called it today. I was like, am I delusional? Because it's going to require some mental things outside of what's physically there that we can see, smell, touch, and everything to really manifest what we want in our lives. And sometimes it could come off a little delusional. Like how are you seeing this happening? Listen, I got a vision, right? So let me pull up those. Where are my drafts at? All right. So we have memory, reason, intuition, imagination, perception, now our will to do things. Okay, and so these all make a part of this plan that when we design our lives. These are the senses that we're calling upon when we're designing our life, more so than I can right now in this moment physically see that I have X amount of dollars and this is how I'm going to move my life. Right now, I can physically see that I live in this particular space. So this is how I design my life. Nope, you have to go into the mind and outside of reality. You got to be a little bit delusional. So I'm going to share how I design my life right now, which I love because it's subject to change. Because guess what? It's not a tangible full reality yet. So I can change this as much as I feel like I need to. I can tweak this and everything, but I do want to be committed and consistent with myself and my actions to do these things. So for me, I spent about maybe not even an hour. I spent maybe 20 minutes doing this for myself. And there's going to be more I'm going to add. But one thing that was important to me was, at least for the next year, and maybe for the rest of my life, I might change my mind, but at least three out of the 5 work days, I want to be able to create my own schedule. So that means if I want to do an early day, I can do an early day. But if I don't want to do an early day, I don't have to. I'm still, of course, there's still things to get done, but I can move my schedule or I can book things according to what I'd like. So that was one thing. Another thing for me is that bills do not exceed, for the next year, I would say bills do not exceed $2,000 a month. And I make 2 to 3 times as much. But in general, I want my bills to never take up more than half of the income that I have. In fact, I would prefer that bills are less than a third of the amount of income that's coming in. And that's something that I think I can, you know, push forward for the next however long. But basically, if I have $2,000 worth of bills every month, which I would say is relatively low if you think about all the things you got to pay for, like, you know, rent, car, bills, all that stuff. But let's just say let's say it's $2,000 a month. I want to make at least $4,000 to $6,000 every month, which means I need to make between like 50 to 80, $85,000 a year when you break it up like that. And that's just for the next year or two. Like I want that goal for myself. So I was able to break that up. Something else I want for my life, or a desire for my life as I'm designing it. I always would like to have a work from home option. That includes my office. I always want to have an office. I always want to be able to work from home when I like. That could be an office slash studio. Oh, somebody made a comment. I'm gonna come back to this comment, Nico, if you're still in here. Office slash studio. In my own home, so that I can do the things that I desire in my creative spaces, but I can also make my money and do what I have to do in a comfortable space, in an environment where I feel like I can get things done. Something else I put is that each job, placement, gig, contract that I get is fulfilling and helps me to continue my learning, my creative endeavors, which might include writing, recording, performing, whatever. But maybe it also includes the science. It also includes a lot of other things. Okay, so these are things. There's more on my list. I don't want to be going through. You know, I do have a Ford Bronco, the big Bronco on here. I do want that. Okay, I do also have a Maserati, but I don't need the Maserati right now. Okay,
Yeah.
I can get the Maserati a little later. I'm cool with that. I'm actually cool with getting the Maserati. Like, I mean, I could get it. I could get if it came to me, I would take it. But I'm cool with, like, after 40, like, getting my Maserati. I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? That's just for play anyway. But Big Bronco was on there. But anyway, I have these things on my list that right now I cannot physically see. I cannot physically touch. I cannot smell them. The new car smell. I can't smell it yet, but I will. But it has to be in my mind first. So I did. Somebody said, well, to be fair, electricity was a delusion until someone invented it. For slaves, freedom was a delusion until they were emancipated. You have the brain power and the spiritual favor. Come on, spiritual favor. Listen, that was a good comment. These are all concepts. Even though we've been joking about, like, I have a concept of a plan when we talk about Trump and everything else, I know that that's funny, but it's also like there's a portion of reality that has to be a concept first. This is true. That part is true. I can't really argue. It has to be an idea. It has to be something that is maybe others cannot see, but you truly believe to be true for your life. So I have more on my list, and I can share more a little bit later. But I would like to open up the floor a little bit to see if anybody, I know not everybody had the time, like I said, my fault. Not everybody might not have had the time to really work on it. But if there are some things that you would think of that you would like to share, I would love to hear and affirm that for you as well. And then I can share a little bit more about some of these other senses and how we can use them to manifest or design our lives. Okay, so does anybody have any? You might not have sat down and wrote the whole thing out yet. It's okay. But if you have anything that is like, you know what? For my life, I see this. I want to know. And don't worry, this is a safe space. I am affirming everybody here. Okay? It's okay. Be delusional.
Go out there.
Go for it. Be delusional, y'all. I know somebody got something.
No, you know what, I know we did this and I wrote some stuff down, but I guess I have to start from somebody else.
Okay.
Got something?
It could be one thing. It don't gotta be a whole list. somebody in the comments said, for my life, I see outdoor spaces with melanin. So melanated spaces, you know, people, color Black people in these spaces outdoors, enjoying outdoors together. He said a cabin or a lodge in the woods. That's number one, that's attainable. That's easy. That's easy. You can make that happen right now. But yes, I love it. That might not now I feel like, me knowing you, I feel like you've been in these spaces already, but let's just say that might not be something that's like physically there at the moment, at this second. Okay. But you will be able to incorporate that in your life. So now, as they mentioned on this video that we watched earlier, it's about matching your actions with the things that you say you want for your life. So if you're seeing outdoor spaces, you're seeing melanated folks in these outdoor spaces together and log cabins and all those things. All right. So it's time to, one, see what spaces exist and be there. And two, begin to create these spaces and create these networks and look at the plan that you want to make it happen for you. If you want to be the owner of these spaces, okay, bet. That's even cooler. You know what I'm saying? If you want to curate those spaces, those gatherings, that's cool. Figure that part out. I love it though. I love it. Sometimes things sound delusional, but they actually are not.
Yeah.
They actually are not delusional.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about that. My goodness, within this year, what's important to me is that my visions are coming forth. One, well, that's just a small thing, but no, it's not a small thing. It's a car, transportation, so that I can move about and get involved with like Lakeisha says, I've been like cooped up in the house since COVID, really. Everything is set up, my house, I mean my office and everything else. So and so everything I need I can walk to. But now so a car is definitely in it. I have not come down with what kind of car is going to be, what color and all of that. So I don't have that yet. But what's important to me, okay, yeah, this is what I wanted to say. So what's important to me is to create my life where what I need is right there in arm's length. So, and I've always been like that. So I have a kitchen in my space and where my school is, and I want to eat healthy. Therefore, I am creating a way where food is prepared in my space, and I don't have to, and it's good vegan food so that I can be healthy along with other activities that will help my body be at its best.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing. And how do I do it around the other things that I'm doing in my life with the Elizabeths and the shows and stuff is, and being able to depend on myself if I have to. That's what I'm working on. Like, that's what my immediate thing is right now within the next, before the end of the year, because I want to be able to give a good report on to Lakeisha when she start asking, okay, it's the end of the year. So what did we do? What did we accomplish in these months of doing things? So that's what I see. That's what's important right now. And some new clothes.
Yeah, there we go.
And new shoes, yeah. Oh, and
So
what's
you can
important also is my music is putting the music out there. So that's yeah, that would be another category that I have to put a timeline on what I want to accomplish by when. So
yeah, I like that. And I think I wouldn't even I mean, I think it's great to create our plan. I think for this particular exercise, the focus is more so on what is it that I see for myself? And what does that look like when I have it? What does it look like for me? And what am I doing? You
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
Because a lot of times you're like, okay, well, I gotta make this plan by
yeah,
September. This is gonna happen, and then August this, and July, and then it's like that is great.
yes,
But I think for this exercise, it's less about the stress of, I gotta have this rigid format for how things are gonna happen. And it's more of like, when this happens for me, I see myself, this is what it looks like. And if I can see what it looks like when I'm doing it, if I can kind of have this outer body experience of, oh, when this is happening, this is where I'm walking to. This is what it looks like when I go to the car to get the stuff, materials for what I'm doing, or like when I walk into the venue and unlock the door for the event. Like this is what you have to be a little delusional and look at it that way. So that way you can you can perceive what is not there
yeah,
as
yeah.
it is.
I got it.
Yeah. So no pressure. I said all that to say no pressure, no pressure. Don't even worry about it. Okay. Not
No,
right now. That's another exercise.
I got
That's
it.
a whole nother exercise.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can see myself walking outside and stepping into my Jag SUV to ride over to my building.
Of course.
Yeah, I see it. I see it. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I touch and agree with you, Queen, because we need a building. We need
yes,
a building for the Doll Show so she can have a home where she don't have to deal with other people's issues. And yeah, we need a building.
yes.
there you go. So now you know what it's gonna look like. You know what you want to walk into. You say you want a building. All right, now you can think about what it looks like getting that building. What does that process look like for you? Not necessarily what time, how does it happen, but what does that process look for you? What does it look like when you sign the papers? What does it look like when you save the money? What does it look like when you go find it, when you're searching for it? What does that look like? And we can visualize that. We can be, again, a little delusional. So I want to break down some of the words that I'm using today because I mentioned 6 senses outside of our physical senses that I kind of want to get back to so that we can really understand how we're like able to manifest the things we want in our lives. And first, of course, because I keep saying delusional, let me explain what that is by definition. Okay, so, and this all got out of order in my thing, so bear with me a little bit as I get this together. All right. So, first and foremost is delusion itself, okay? And so delusion, it says it says it's a false belief or opinion, okay? And according to psychiatry, it's a fixed false belief that is resistant to reason or confrontation with actual fact. All right, so it's like, all right, this ain't real, basically. It's an idea of something. You got this whole concept of something that is not actually real. And then delusional means you have this false or unrealistic belief or opinion about something, or it's maintaining this fixed false belief even when confronted with facts, usually as a result of mental illness. And this is a real issue in life. But when we're talking about the things we manifest, we have to understand that the things at this moment are not tangible facts. They are not something. Do I have a brand new car in front of me right now that I can go drive off? No, I don't. I know this though. But what I do know is that it's attainable. And I do know that I can see myself in it. I do know that I can visualize how I can get it. I do know that at some point it will no longer be a delusion. It will no longer be false because I can make it reality. So, that's what delusional is in and of itself. But it's this perception of something that's not there. And what is perception? So perception is the act or the faculty of perceiving or apprehending by means of the senses, mind, cognition, understanding. Another definition says immediate or intuitive recognition or appreciation as moral, psychological, or aesthetic qualities. perception is the result of perceiving, or a single unified awareness derived from sensory processes. Okay, so they're like, what the heck? That's a lot. What perception? Perception, what? That's a lot. Okay. But if we can get into what it really means to perceive something, to look at something, we can perceive our factual daily, this is what's happening, this is what I can touch, whatever, as the only reality that exists, or we can perceive it as a reality that can be changed. So let me backtrack a little bit. Hold on. So we're talking about delusion, right? We're saying delusion is like, I'm thinking about something that is not factual, it's not real, and I'm ideating on this thing that is like not actually there. Okay. All right. And then we said that we're thinking this is our perception. So we're looking at this as something that's like, okay, it's not there, but I believe it's there. So it seems like it's delusional. All right. However, we can perceive our factual, tangible, what's going on right now as something that can be changed. So if we can perceive it as something that can be changed into what we actually want, then it's not delusion, it's this process, okay, this cognitive process, this thought process, this manifestation process that's happening of our visualization, which we've been talking about the past few weeks. Okay. So it's no longer a delusion, but more so an idea, an imaginative idea. So now we get into imagination, okay? Because in order for us to really fully understand, like, this is what I want for my life, you have to be able to imagine it. Okay, so regardless of if it's real or not right now, you still have this ability, this sense of imagination that goes way past, again, our five senses that we talk about all the time. Our imagination is something that is intangible. However, it can push and fuel us into what it is we want when we're designing our life. So imagination, let's go to that definition. Imagination is forming mental images or concepts of what is not actually present to the senses. Doesn't that sound like delusion? It's literally the same thing. So you're telling me forming mental images or concepts of what is actually not present is literally basically the same definition of delusion. So is it bad to imagine? No, it's not. It's not bad to imagine. In fact, you need to be able to imagine. You need to be able to process what it is that you want for your life first before you attain it. Be delusional. Okay. You're creating ideas, okay? And you're creating ideas and concepts and plans that don't currently exist but can and will, so that what you see is going to change, what you perceive is going to look different, and your delusion will become reality. Be delusional. Use your imagination. It's a requirement for you when you want to manifest things. So you're talking about your passion, your purpose. You know what I'm saying? You have to use that imagination. You got to be a little delulu. So as we're talking about, forming these ideas, forming these concepts, forming these images in our head, we also walk with two important things, though. As we're manifesting the things we want for our life, there are two senses, two external senses that are really important in framing this walk, this path, and that's memory and intuition. So this is what separates us from being like strictly delusional, like I'm about to walk outside and $1 million is gonna fall from the sky and hit me in the head. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I hope that for you, but the way that that life typically works based off of my memories is that usually money doesn't fall from the sky. However, it is possible, but I think we can design our lives a little bit more specifically to what we can not necessarily control, but what we can imagine for our lives that includes us and our action. Okay, that's a little external. We're hoping for something external and have completely disregarded what the things that we need to do to get to what we want. So let's reel that back in. So imagination is kind of like delusion, but we're using intuition and memory. So, and reason. I'm sorry, intuition, memory, and reason. 3 things. Okay, and those things are going to help us to really manifest the things that we want. Okay, so first, memories. Memories are so important. I have a song called Uncle Memories, and it talks about this because memories is the mental capacity of retaining and reviving facts, events, impressions, recalling previous experiences. Let's see, it's a recollection. Okay, it's a mental impression retain. So these are things that we capture in our minds from our own experiences, and we remember them, and then we can use them. So this might be a memory of an experience we had where we had to learn the hard way. I don't know why I raised my own hand. Um, we might have had to listen. My hand was like, "Let's go." But this might have been an experience that we had to learn ourselves. It could have been an experience where an ancestor, a person, a mom, a cousin, somebody taught us something, showed us something. There's these experiences that we can use to help us in manifesting the things we want for our lives. So if our experiences, I remember going to my mom to the car place, and she had to give them her information, and they had to run her credit and see if she was applicable for the car that she was looking for, and then she was able to get the car, and she had to get insurance and blah 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 blah. I had the experience of buying a car already. Now I can take that memory and I can use that. So when I have my little imagination, my delulu moment, my delusional idea about getting a brand new car, I have already had an experience of buying a car before. I can apply that to my delusion, to my imagination, to this creative idea, this perception of what my life could be. I'm going to apply that so that when it's time for me to get a car, I know exactly what to do. It looks like me driving a new Ford Bronco, looks like me, of course, having the fun, saving my money, doing what I have to do, and going to the dealership. Which dealership? Which color car? Who am I going to talk? Am I talking to an agent? Did I do the Carfax? Did I find this online? I've already established what that looks like for me in my imagination, so that way I know what to do with confidence. Okay, so we have our memory, and then we have our intuition and our reason, and that's gonna help us with our next steps as well. So you have your intuition, which the definition of that is a direct perception of truth, fact. Okay, a fact or truth perceived in this way, a keen and quick insight, the quality or ability of having such direct perception or insight. It's immediate cognition of an object, not inferred or determined by previous cognition of the same object, pure, untaught, non-inferential knowledge, mental powers concerned with forming conclusion, judgments, or inferences, sound judgment. This is intuition. Okay, so going back to it, a direct perception of truth and fact. So we're talking about, okay, delusion is technically, this ain't true, okay? But I can use my intuition to acknowledge what truth is for me and what truth looks like for me. Okay, so my intuition tells me that it could tell you a lot of things. But if I'm going to get this car, my intuition tells me, you know what? I should go to a certified dealer. I shouldn't buy something right off of the side of the road from a random man that I've never seen before in life. You know, especially if I want a brand new car and he's selling it for $35,000 cheaper. My intuition is gonna kick in and tell me this is true. This makes sense. This does not. And it goes right hand in hand with reason. Now, the thing that I separate when it comes to intuition and reason, because the definition for reason is a basis or cause, as for some belief, statement presented in justification. Okay, so the difference I see here is that we can apply the spiritual sense to our intuition. Reason is more logical. Sometimes you have to make a decision on your dreams and your goals and your passions and your purpose based simply off of this intuition. And the logic don't always be there all the time. It's like I can't really reason with you why this will or won't work, but my intuition is saying, I don't think that's true for my life. I don't think that this is walking in truth. This is not alignment with my purpose. For some reason, I know and I feel this. And that's a feeling that's outside of the five senses. You can't be like, oh, I touched the computer. I know this is it. Like, nah, intuition is different. So that's that spiritual exchange that comes into our delusion as we're imagining what it is we want for our life. We have that intuition, and sometimes intuition comes with those memories. Sometimes that goes hand in hand. I remember an ancestor, a family member, whatever, who taught me, who shared with me this. It kicked in my intuition so that I make this decision or not. There might not be a logical reason, and you find out later, like, dude on the side of the road was the first thing that came to my mind was crazy, but dude on the side of the road was like a serial car thief or something, and the car you were gonna buy actually belonged to a government agent, and now they're out to get whoever bought the car. And like, it could have been something crazy, but your intuition was like, no, or yes, do it. So we put these things together, and we come to realize that we are not delusional at the end of the day. Our imaginations are not delusional for real. So when someone says, oh, you're delusional, like I said, there are times when we can be delusional. But that's when we use our reason, our memory, our intuition to allow those to kick in, so that we're like, you know what? This is not delusion. My perception of my reality right now is that it can be changed into what I want for my life. And because I have this imagination, because I've creatively designed what it is I want for my life, I know that what's currently here, what's factually here, what I can see, touch, taste, smell is going to change. I'm going to live in the fact that this is happening and I'm a part of this. And I'm going to use all my senses to make it happen, or be a part of the process of it happening, and allow myself to walk in my passion and purpose, no matter if you can believe it, see it, feel it, smell it, touch it, or not. So that's where we're at with it. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Girl.
I was on the thumb. Okay. But really, that was all. I know. I mean, it was a lot. I feel like it was a lot. And there's a lot to think about. I have not like consolidated this into something like that you can read through yet. So if I'm able to do that at some point, I will send it. But I'm not in that space yet. So I'm sorry I can't like just send you like, here's a pamphlet on, like, I can't do it this time. But I'm gonna work on it, and that might be something good to share. But yes, that is all for today, folks, for me. So I'm open to conversation.
Yeah, you turned that faucet on and it was flowing. That's very good. Very good. I'm glad that you brought in about seeing it already done and walking and moving in it. That brings our vibration to match what it takes for that to be. Because if you can't see it, and like you were saying, what I was stuck in the how to, all the technical things of it versus just the enjoyment of once it is there physically, I'm experiencing it. I experience it now. I don't have to wait until later. I can experience it now. Then my my energy is on that level because I'm living it in my mind already.
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm being delusional and using my imagination.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because the feeling is the same if you let yourself go there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just feel how would that feel? So yeah, that's cool.
Uh,
Next-
oh, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Star.
You good?
I want to piggyback on what Queen said. I can't come on camera. That was an excellent presentation, Lonnie. Because if you can't see it, then you don't know, you have nowhere to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching this movie last night. It was a war movie, and there was a guy there. He couldn't see, and so when the medic came to him, he put water on his face and he wiped his face, and then he could see because he had blood all over his face and he thought he was blind. Now, here's the thing. He was still in the midst of the negative situation. But because he saw that he could see, then all that negative stuff around him didn't matter. He could see. And so it doesn't matter what situation you're in. And there's this other song, it's called The Destination Is There. If God placed it in your spirit, then the destination is there. You just have to do like what you said. You just have to do what you need to do to get to that destination.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to see it first.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's all.
Thank you.
Excellent presentation. I look
Thank
forward
you.
to seeing this again so I could write down all of those definitions that you said.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna work on it.
So
Yes.
now I have a question. Are you on Facebook Live now?
Not Facebook Live. I'm on Instagram Live. I haven't really used Facebook Live.
Okay, but my question is, can they hear what we're saying?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes.
That's
Yes, they can.
that's so cool. Yeah, I'm going to be it's funny it's funny um because this very topic is what I have before the spirit right now.
Mm.
I mean, it really is, truly is that. And so, and then like my wall, I took all the stuff down. I took all the stuff down that was on the wall back.
Oh, you did, yeah.
Yeah. And then I removed everything off of the board
Mm-hmm.
because it was like my life had become cluttered. What I was seeing was clutter. So I just had to take everything off. And
Mm-hmm.
but I had the building, I had all these things, and he's longing to see that up there now. You know, it's like the vision is, hey, where's the vision? Where's the vision? So just this weekend, just allowing myself to just go back into the vision and put it up in a way that I enjoy it, that it doesn't look where it looks more like a yellow brick road versus just clutter. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. I think it's a good time for us to really take initiative to appreciate what we've accomplished, what we're looking at, our dreams and goals, give gratitude for the things that were able to come to us, and then make room for what's next.
Yeah.
And I say that, one, because that's good, but two, because the fall equinox is this weekend. Yeah, fall equinox is this weekend. Today's Friday, so Saturday, Sunday. We're transitioning into a new season, and so this is really a good time to harvest everything that worked for us, all the fruits that we've labored on, and really make room for all the new ideas and things that we're going to be able to really cultivate and get ready for as we go into fall and then winter, and then let everything blossom again in spring. So I like that you're kind of, it's like physically you're plucking some things, pulling some things off. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I got this, I got this. We're starting fresh, pulling everything up out the ground.
Right. Yeah.
This is a good time for that. This is a good time for that. I
Yeah.
love it.
Pruning and reestablishing.
Yes, I
Mhm.
like it. I like it. And now you have plenty to dream about, to imagine, to be a little delusional about, so
Go
that when it is time to really, really sprout again, you have everything visualized.
Yes. Well, we got about 3 minutes and it is the weekend Friday. So do you, any announcement about what people are doing, what you've heard of, something about a harvest? Is that this weekend?
Oh, there is
The one at the DeQuinder cut.
Oh, I guess that's what they're talking about.
I think that's in October though.
That's the first weekend in October.
Okay. So
Yeah,
let me,
there is something happening. I got a message from Piper Carter.
right,
Uh,
right. I forgot about that one.
what's the name of it? It's this weekend for sure, but
The Harvest Festival at D-Town.
yeah, D-Town Farms. Yes, D-Town Farms has something going on. I
Yeah,
think that's Saturday and Sunday.
yeah,
I'm trying to see if I can look it up, but
it's the whole weekend. And then Black Tech Saturday is tomorrow. For those who are going to go to that. What did I do? I did something crazy. Okay, there you go. And that's all I know of right now. Yeah, that's all I know of right now. So, Mama Evelyn has a class for the spirit dolls next Friday. It is $45, and she needs to know so that she can have everything ready, because she brings the stuff. Of course, if you don't have like 45, that's nothing but a conversation. If you want to come, just be in communication with her about the when by when. So, and then if you know somebody else, let her know. I think she can only do 10. Is that right, Mama Evelyn? And along with that, we are going to have a shake-a-ray class, how to create your shake-a-ray. We're going to the Gourd Festival. This is with Jara and her team. So we'll be teaching. She's going to be teaching shake-a-ray and how to play the shake-a-ray as well. She got some some of our sisters coming to learn songs and stuff like that. It's going to be really, really super, super cool. Okay, so we are at 10 o'clock right now, and I'm going to release you.
Can you all hear me?
No, now we can.
Okay, is this BYOB or bring food? What is this? Or is just, I just wanted to know.
For when, baby? For which thing?
For the spirit dial.
Spirit doll. Oh, it'll be, like BYOB, coming together. BYO
Okay.
or we'll let you know in whatever else. But yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
oh, and just Harvest Festival, D-Town Farms Harvest Festival is Saturday and Sunday from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. on West Outer Drive. That's by me.
Yeah.
Yes. It said it's between Plymouth and West Chicago. So,
Okay. Okay.
all right.
That's all I know about. I want y'all to have a wonderful, just make it fun. Miff it, make it fun. Yes, Mama.
The watermelon drop at Avalon Village is on Sunday. Watermelon drop.
Yeah, I heard about that.
What do
Okay.
they do? What do they do?
They're gonna have the watermelon man. You can buy a watermelon, and they're gonna have let's see,
And
fresh seeded watermelon, fresh produce, peanuts, corn on the cob relay, potato sack races, pumpkin bowling,
families.
watermelon eating contests, food available.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm going because I want a watermelon. I will not
Right.
end the summer without a watermelon.
Give
Okay, I gotta go, y'all.
yourselves a big
Love
hug.
you. Mwah, mwah.
Hug the world and sprinkle goodness and love and peace and all the wonderful things. I love you. Great job, my daughter.
No problem. All right.